Welcome back, everybody, to the Hearthstone Legendary Series, week number 7. It's our last quarterfinals of the day before we move on to the semifinals and ultimately the grand finals, where one person will get a pay trip to California. We're about to approach Amaz versus Flybird. Now, it's going to be a cool one because, again, it's another Taiwanese player who's shown their work ethic. It's, kind of the invasion of the East, if you will. But Amaz is also a player that people have been wondering, with all this organizing, with tournaments, doing all the stuff with casting even, because I know he also does deck wars and whatnot, and of course his own team. Is he still keeping up as a player? I think people are honestly, wondering about how he's doing because he's just got so much on his plate. Can he keep up with the highest level of Hearthstone?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a great team behind him, so I'm sure he'll at least have great decks going into it. Question is, will he play them correctly and mulligan accordingly for the right matchups, all of that? I'm sure he has a great shot. Flybird's a player we don't know much about. Now, is this a player we've seen before in the earlier weeks at all?
Yes, we saw him last week. Oh, no, sorry. Did he qualify? Pretty sure he qualified. No, Peeping Hill qualified. Flybird qualified from last week. That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Well, clearly made it to the semifinals last week at least, so he knows what he's doing. Did he come from the qualifier stages
Yes,
originally?
He did.
Oh, fantastic. So, yeah, I'm sure he has a great shot as well. This is a player that obviously has momentum. He's very recently done well in this series to get to this point. So
I think he beat Show to get to the semifinals and kicked them out in round 1. And then I think he lost to Hyped in the semis, and then Hyped went on to face Magic Game in the finals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, momentum's a big deal, honestly, for card games. It means that the decks that you're playing aren't just... It doesn't just mean that you're a good player, but it means that the decks you're playing are current. If it was good last week, it's probably still good this week. Like, he's very up to date with the metagame and in tune with what he needs to be doing to win games. So, I could see this going either way. I'm not going to give the edge to either player.
Okay.
Maz, of course, great player. He can definitely win in any circumstance. So, I'm mostly interested in what decks he brings. Honestly,
Exactly. I think I want to see what the deck choices that he's brought, because I know Firebat and Hosty and even Backspace, they have their own set of decks that they really like to play. And I feel like it's different from Amaz. Like, for example, I've never seen Amaz bring like a rogue.
Yeah.
And yet, Backspace, Firebat, and Hosty all love rogue. They love playing that deck, or class rather. It's like one of those things where Amaz even brought Priest to Kingwin, and he put Blingtrong in his Priest, and he made the semifinals. It's like these weird things that it feels like only Amaz could get away with those cards that feel RNG, but at the same time, it's now an opportunity for him to see what he's got.
I didn't expect Druid, but he is bringing that. I actually expected Hunter from Amaz. I'm going to expect that to be Zoo, honestly. But I'm mostly interested in what kind of priest list this is. Is this going to be like Recombobulator, Shadow Madness base? Is it going to be more just like proactive, Injured Blade Master, Sludge Belcher, like play minions type of priest? Flybird bringing Hunter, one of the 2 players in this tournament, I believe, to bring that class. So.
And he lined it up specifically against Priest, and I'm not sure if that's what he wanted.
That's probably not going to go very well, is it?
And it might actually work out beautifully for Amaz if the Priest just has to be a one-time thing, if it's just 3 classes. One thing I do like, though, is I like that Amaz is always sticking to his Priest roots. A lot of players end up abandoning the classes that they were known for just because of the power level, but Amaz is one of the old faithfuls to Priest. It's a storyline within Hearthstone that people don't easily forget.
Yeah, good to see him bringing it back. I've always played Warlock, for example, but that's not really saying much.
The problem is everyone's playing Warlock.
Yeah.
It's just too good.
It's never been bad.
Yeah.
Well, should be some good games. Looks like we got Warlock versus Druid happening twice, with each player on one side of that matchup once. Of course, we don't know which versions of Warlock those are and which versions of Druid. I expect Amaz to be playing Zoo rather than Handlock.
Yeah. Once upon a time, back when the first DreamHack Bootcrest was happening, Amaz was like a handlock specialist. He didn't really know how to play Zoo that well. And then he started going more towards the Zoo all of a sudden midsummer, and now it's like we're not really sure. I'm also curious as to what Druids are being brought, because I think Ramp Druid is really making a strong case as probably the more consistent, better Druid in tournaments. But Mech Druid is also starting to rise in popularity too, and I wonder if either of these guys will go for it.
Yeah, we're starting to see like different degrees of Mech Druid. There's the full-blown Mech Warper Mech Druid. There's one with Wild Growth and Mech Warper. There's one that just plays Shredder and maybe like piloted Sky Golem occasionally. But yeah, Mech decks have been very interesting in the metagame. People have varying degrees of mech within their mech decks. But yeah, Druid, definitely a deck that can be built 4 different ways. We're not really sure going into it. Handlock from Flybird. I would like to see him keep Mountain Giant here and put the other 3 back. Although keeping Molten Giant is not a bad call, to be honest. That's definitely something you can do against Druid. I wouldn't fault him for it.
Wow, I actually haven't seen too many people keep Molten Giant against Druid. Just because they have so much burst, and oftentimes it's like you die from 16, not necessarily you die from like the double swipes on 8.
You're going to have dead cards no matter what against Druid, but Molten Giant is a card where there are some games where you just need it to win. And a lot of games, honestly, Druid doesn't have the burst, you know, and they're forced to go through it the hard way, so like get you down to 12 or so, and then you can get a pretty effective Molten Giant down. That's a very defensive Druid deck. Antique Healbot. Expect to see this be more of a ramp list, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Looks like he mulliganed for Zoo, keeping Wrath, keeping Keeper.
No, did he? I thought he pushed away Wrath.
Oh, he did, he just drew it, yeah.
Huh. Gnomish Inventor.
I'm so jealous that he has a golden one from that level 60 Priest.
Oh, yeah? You're not level 60 with Priest?
I'm a casual, Dan. One day. I'm like 50-ish, I don't know. I never play the class. It's my least played class.
Oh, okay, I know what deck this is. Yeah, the mind control tech is actually very popular on ladder. It's definitely wrecked me a few times more than I'd like to.
Yeah, I play 2 of it in Mech Mage to swing the Zoo matchup a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Helps a ton on ladder. Cool stuff. All right, so I mean, those are innovations that you definitely see a lot on ladder, but one of those things that you might not see it until you get to the higher ranks, because a lot of people switch that in to just get the edge.
That's a super powerful card right now. I expect to start seeing one of it in a lot of decks, much like Big Game Hunter. Dr. Boom, of course, being so popular, makes Mind Control tech active that much more often.
But what about Dr. Doom?
Well, one of my favorite characters in Marvel vs. Capcom.
He's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think he's not god tier, but he's decent, I think.
There's an arcade that has the original Burbank. Yeah, it's downstairs in the mall that I was telling you about.
Oh, we should go.
Below Halo 13. Oh. 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 Well, I don't know what I was expecting.
This is what casting Amaz games is like.
I don't know what I was expecting on the other end of it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, it's about what does he fill out with the rest? Is he going to hero power Zombie Chow?
I'd like to see a Wrath cycle.
Okay.
Looks like he is going to go with hero power instead. Otherwise, he would have cycled first to see what he got. Alright. Chow down. I wonder if killing that is right while you have Mind Control tech in hand. I guess it would telegraph too much if you didn't.
Right. I don't know if it's necessary you telegraph Mind Control tech, but
I like this Druid list.
Seems pretty cool.
Draw cards, kill stuff, just get value.
So instead of, you know, so he has to be running like a Sludge Belcher then instead of a Drake, right? Because I saw some Drakes were starting to make comeback in Druid lists. So the Gnomish Inventor would replace it, so you have to draw, and then you can put Sludge Belchers in to be more defensive.
We are going to see the trade here instead of taking out the Gnomish Inventor. It's going to help protect that Sludge Belcher just a little bit more. He's got access to Coin Dr. Boom coming up.
2 Innervates for Amaz, by the way.
Doesn't want to use them, though. Looks like he's going to opt for the Wrath instead here. I'm definitely not going to see Sludge Belcher live. Amaz, of course, taking his time on the decision because you don't want to telegraph what exactly you have planned. If you take more time before making the play, then why make it seem like you have more options than you do?
These Innervates feel like they haven't been impactful. What are like some late game uses of it too?
Gadgetzin Auctioneer. Maybe he's playing that.
That'd be pretty cool.
It is good with Ancient of War if you're playing Faceless Manipulator. When
or even just a 5-drop, right?
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, when Garo and DreamHack Bucharest, he was playing double Faceless for that reason, so you could Ancient of War, Innervate Faceless on turn 10. That just locks a lot of decks out. I doubt that's in this deck. But, you know, no reason to run it out if you don't need to.
Wait, Coin Dr. Boom actually enables mind control tech.
It does, but I don't think he's going to be playing around it. I don't expect this slime to get suicided here at all.
Oh man, what do you think is gonna get taken? Just
what do
out
I
of
think is going to
curiosity.
get taken? Dr. Boom, 80% chance.
80%. I would say it's a boombot.
So unlucky.
Yeah.
Well, no BGH this time. It's going to be much tougher to deal with that card.
Well, he's got Ancient of War, but of course you're worried about the possibility of easy removal through Siphon Soul.
Mm-hmm. He could hero power the other boombot. And then if that kills his boombot and he hits it for 4, he still can't keep Further Grove.
Oh, losing the mind control tag.
That's not what he wanted to see.
No, that was actually the worst outcome. So Flybird picks up Antique Healbot. That could be useful if he's trying to play around combo in the future turns.
This might be a great Loatheb turn, but man, it feels sketchy to Sun Fury, so he's gonna life tap instead. You don't want to become vulnerable to Black Knight. Alright, Loatheb's gonna come down here.
Is there an alternative? He's thinking about it. Maybe Healbot instead of the Loatheb? Or is it just one of those things, like you said, presenting as if you have more options?
I'd like to see Loatheb here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty strong. Just what would he be hesitating for?
I guess he's considering the merits of Healbot. Healbot's definitely going to be better after that Molten Giant, so. There we go, Loatheb comes down, get in for 7.
What?
Well, I said Amaz would have good decks. This is not Paladin, my friend. This is
I'm not laughing in an open mockery of Amaz's choice. It's just funny considering I've had a discussion with Raynad on multiple occasions of how Paladin needs Baron Geddon as a core card, and then out of nowhere, Baron Geddon makes an appearance here.
Yeah.
What is this card supposed to do specifically in Druid? In any match?
2 damage to all other characters. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It gives you another big game hunter target, so you're super vulnerable to that card. I guess it gives you like a Starfall plus a threat against control decks.
Does he have Poison Seed? Poison Seed, Innervate, Baron Geddon?
Yeah. That would be a sick combo if Baron Geddon didn't cost 7. Alright, Nation of War comes down. And all of a sudden, Amaz just took like 12 damage he'd rather not take from Dr. Boom and the Loatheb. I mean, this is a ton of value from this Boom.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's still this Ancient of War is rather problematic.
Yeah, very, very good. Good here for Amaz, because no Siphon Soul, no Owl available for Flybird just yet. Assuming he plays 2 of each, I'd like to see a life tap here, but, you know, a lot of people are cutting Siphon now. Some people only play 1 Owl. If Flybird doesn't have great chances of drawing an answer to that, then maybe the play here is just Ragnaros.
Yeah, what does Ragnaros replace? Could be one of those Siphon Souls you mentioned.
If you Ragnaros, would you attack?
I don't know. Giving up Dr. Boom seems... I'd rather him make the attack.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, are you scared about combo by any chance?
I would probably life tap Sylvanas is what I would do. Life tap to see if he hit an answer, and then Sylvanas afterwards.
You're really not afraid of...
Oh, he's going to Sun Fury it. Okay. That's a good play, too, but... Yeah, I don't think you've seen a Keeper of the Grove yet. It's a good chance to just get silenced. Alright.
Well, the Keep of the Grove is waiting here. And then this is where Innervate can actually have some pretty big impact.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a silence on Sylvanas here. The only question is, besides that, what are we going to see? Maybe just an Innervate Ancient of War #2. I mean, if the first one was so inconvenient for Flybird to deal with, you might as well play a second. A little bit unfortunate that anti-Healbot can't heal minions. You know, a lot of, like, with a card like Ancient of Lore, you get that extra bit of flexibility in being able to heal up your Ancient of Wars. But yeah, anti-Healbot.
That'd be too crazy if anti-Healbot can heal minions.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Because then anti-Healbot would be like the godliest combo card late game with Priest. Just like nuke something for 8 damage.
Yeah, maybe that was the problem. They probably tested it that way.
Yeah. Can you imagine even? It's like you play Ragnaros and they just like nuke it for 8 damage.
Yeah. I've thought stolen lay on hands before. Pyroblast, draw 3 cards.
Pretty wild. Oh man.
Alright,
That's painful.
I like the swipe play. It's aggressive, but definitely a solid play. He's got the antique heal bot. He doesn't have to be that careful with his life total. It's not like Handlock is playing as much burst as it used to be.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough turn, but well played. 2 antique heal bots, by the way, in Flybird's deck. That's just ultra conservative and defensive. I mean, you can see 1, of course, because of the utility, but 2 is often. Well, I mean, you might draw it and you might have to play for it.
Knowing their hands, we know that Flybird should just slam Ragnaros, but Flybird has seen these 2 Innervates in Amaz's hand just being held onto since the beginning of the game, along with that heal bot. So it's basically 3 cards that just haven't been played all game, and Flybird's thinking to himself, you know, those are probably Force of Nature and Savage Roar.
Even if it's just an Ancient of War, it's like, it could be a combo.
Yeah. A lot of people do play 1 copy of the combo in their Druid decks. I wonder if Amaz has just cut Ancient of Lore. That would be insane, right?
Well, he already has a Baron Geddon.
And heal bots, right? So he's got the healing and different 7 drops.
What is this deck even supposed to try to do? Just overwhelm defensively? I guess so. Like, every card at its mana slot seems to have some defensive value, except for the Gnome Bender.
It's a heads-up play. He has to play the Mountain Giant first, or else it'll cost too much after the Hellfire. So it is going to lose some health there, but he's already seen swipes. Very unlikely that Amaz is going to kill that with damage this turn. Druid of the Claw is going to give him the option to. I think we're going to see him charge that up and trade both minions in. But then it's Ancient of War versus everything else in Handlock's hand. I don't know if Druid can keep up with just the cards that Warlock is putting out.
So then what about you go the opposite direction and just play Ancient of War and Healbot, or even Druid of the Claw?
That is definitely an option, just being more aggressive, going face with it. Yep. I mean, he can go that route. I don't know. I'd like to see an Ancient of War and
Healbot?
Yeah.
It is a very curious deck, that's for sure.
There's definitely some risk of Shadow Flame here. But not too much, I guess. Or actually, Hellfire would be even worse. But he has already seen one. Well, it's a Twilight Drake pickup.
He's 1 mana off from being able to, or maybe 1 health off. Because the Molten Giant plus Antique Healbot would have been pretty nice too.
Yeah, Flybird's thinking, just asking himself every single turn, can I life tap? Can I afford to? I think he is going to go for it here. Sun Fury. That's a good one. He didn't have a taunt yet, so.
Can't do anything to the Ancient of Lore though. So just play a big minion and taunt it.
Yeah, seems like the best option.
You have to be careful about the combo, like we've been talking about.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything he can do to not die to it at this point, and he recognizes that. Maybe if he heals for 8 and then taunts the 3/3, but that's not going to win him the game. I think it's the stage of the game where you just hope they don't have combo.
Yeah, he did hold an Innervate, so it's a good reminder that maybe he just has another Innervate. Alright, running out of time, he's got to make his decision. Is it going to be Giant number 2 or Twilight Drake? Both have about the same amount of health.
I like seeing Drake here. That Giant's probably going to cost 0 later on. Alright, back to Amaz, who draws Cenarius.
Oh, man.
That's a card.
Wait. Okay.
Well, I'd expect to see a +2 here.
Yeah, +2 across everything allows him to trade.
And then innervate hero power to finish off Twilight Drake.
Right. It is going to put the Ancient of War within Big Game Hunter range, interestingly enough.
That is a good point. That'll give Flybird a clean answer to that at least.
Hold on, is there an alternative? Let's see.
It's worth pointing out that if Flybird draws Shadow Flame, he can clear the entire board if Amaz makes that play. All he needs is a Shadow Flame.
Pretty tempting to go for the Cenarius play.
I mean, he's drawn a lot of cards.
Dang.
He might only play one Shadow Flame, but oh man, if he draws it. I mean, how deep into the deck is Handlock at this point? It must be at least 15 cards.
He's got to make his decision quick, too. He's running out of time. He's thinking about it.
Alright, Amaz is going to make the play that's a little better against Shadow Flame, I guess. Well,
yeah, he wasn't really happy about that.
No, yeah, it was better to innervate the hero power in every way. Oh well. Nevertheless, back on Flybird, who can BGH the one Ancient of War, but he is actually in a great spot here.
Yep.
BGH the Ancient of War, trade off with Healbot. All of a sudden, you have 16 power and toughness worth of taunt.
So assuming your opponent doesn't have combo, though.
Does he have the mana, actually? He taps, he's got 8 left. No, he can only play 1. Oh, but yeah, you don't have the taunt giver. Or the mana.
So he's still worried about the potential of dying.
Definitely.
And there is some burst in the Druid's hand. It's not 0, it's 6 damage.
Yeah.
So what's Flybird's best option? If he taps, he can play Molten Giants for 2. It's 4. Yeah. Yeah, he can play everything. BGH, 2 Molten Giants.
But does he die then?
Not if he healbots. 5,
He's
6.
gonna be like 1 short of
He's
lethal.
gonna be 1 short of lethal. Unless...
That's that
Oh, that's lethal. Yeah, drew the claw plus swipe.
Yep. Alright, Amaz takes the win.
Wow, that was definitely
crazy
not
game.
the way I was expecting it, but I'm a little disappointed. I want to see Baron Geddon play.
It's there for moral support, Dan. That's what it was for. That's what it was there
coach.
for. You know, we've seen so many antique heal
The
bots.
full of the deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
We've seen so many antique heal bots in Handlock, and they're pretty much just staring back at the Handlock player from the hand every time. Nobody's actually playing them. They're not really doing much with that card. I'm really surprised that so many people are playing 2 of it, and yet we've never seen it played. Like, it just never seems like the best option for the board. So I think Handlock's a deck that, even though it's so popular and people know that they recognize how powerful it is, it's just, I feel like it's being misbuilt a bit. People need to refine it a bit more, just kind of figure out the cards that fit and the cards that don't.
I mean, it's easy to get caught into, the new card train, because people feel like this new card synergizes really well, and then sometimes you just bring a deck that has maybe 1 GVG card in it, and you realize it actually works really well in the metagame, that nothing has ever changed from it. It's just really easy to see like a Druid card, or Druid class, just have Pilot Shredders, and then everything else is just normal.
Yeah.
And it just works fine. You don't necessarily need to be married to the idea of like, well, this is a new card from the expansion, and as a result, I have to play with it.
Yeah. Well, so Amaz gonna take the lead in game 1. Pretty interesting series. Looks like it's gonna be Hunter versus Priest now, a matchup where Amaz should be heavily favored, unless of course it is a more anti-control Priest deck. Hard to really say. Most Priest decks tend to be geared towards the anti-aggro side of the spectrum,
I think so.
You can see some crazy things with like double Big Game Hunter, double Shadow Word Death, Abusive Sergeant.
Maybe a Light Bomb if he feels like there's going to be Handlock.
Yeah. Lots of different ways to go with it.
But if there's one thing I know Amaz will always have in his Priest deck,
Recombobulator?
No, no,
Or
no.
Shire Cleric. Thought Steal.
Thought Steal.
There you go.
There you go. You finally landed on it.
I've seen him cut Thought Steal, I thought.
No way.
Never?
Amaz would never cut Thought Steal. It's his card.
Yeah. North Shire Cleric's better.
Okay.
Thought Steal's good too.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if he's playing any specific new cards too. I've seen some people experiment with a couple of the interesting priest cards, like the Shadow Boxer or the what's the one that gives the +4 health to a mech?
Yeah, that one's good. I don't know what it's
feels
called.
So cool.
Yeah, the 5-mana 5/5
Right.
is really powerful.
Like, there's so many cards in priest that's just like in a vacuum. It's just nuts. Like Temple Enforcer or that card specifically.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Shrinkmeister is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Shadow Madness is insane against Hunter, by the way.
Yeah, just the best card.
Yeah. Have to imagine that's what he's keeping. What about the rest of the three?
Well, I would not keep any of the other three. Priestess can be okay, but I don't think it's good enough to keep. Definitely put him back. Just keep the Shadow Madness. As for the Hunter, keeping Web Spinner Haunted Creeper, that's a hand that just gets wrecked by Northshire Cleric, so you have to consider, you know, do I actually want these cards? I think you do just keep them and hope he doesn't have Cleric. That's probably the way to go.
Sure.
I wouldn't fault Flybird for putting those back. This could be extremely one-sided. Priest also has the coin, which is not something a lot of people pay attention to in this matchup, but it's a huge deal. If Priest has coin versus the games that it doesn't.
Oh. Well, it does have Light Bomb in the deck.
Yeah, double circle. Oh, he didn't keep the Shadow Madness.
It's okay, he got it back.
There we go.
That's so interesting. I think Light Bomb is one of the more fascinating cards in the set. Like, I'm pretty surprised a lot of priest players didn't explore with it more.
I've actually been streaming it a good amount recently. I played 2 of it. It's an interesting card. It's powerful. The thing I like about it is it's one of the few cards in the game that can deal with Dr. Boom effectively.
Yeah.
So they boom, you Light Bomb. It doesn't feel too bad.
Right. It makes so much sense in a control priest, but
yeah, it's like you have to like limit yourself on how many reactive cards you play, because at a certain point your deck becomes all removal, and then it becomes tough to win.
Oh man, Shadow Madness. That's just the perfect scenario. You disable their mad scientists, and you kill off their knife juggler.
He didn't keep it, but he drew it anyway. And there we go. That's why you should keep it, I think.
Right. Just so powerful in what it did. And now Flybird, well, he gets the Pilot Shredder, so he has something to do.
Yeah, normally a card that would be one of the better 4-drops against Priest, 4 attack, resilient. But Dark Cultist Power Word Shield is going to prey on that 4/3. If Flybird doesn't find a freezing trap soon.
Well, there's a Hunter's Mark, so there are ways to get past it.
There is, yeah. Well, man, tough call for Amaz here. He also has the Blade Master's Circle. He's going to go with the Dark Cultist, though.
Ah,
I like this play more, too. Alright, well, I think we're going to see a Hunter's Mark kill command here. Good old Moonfire. Putting in work.
3 mana Moonfire?
No, 0 mana Moonfire. Because you could Web Spinner. Oh, he's going to trade.
Oh. Wait, what? That's not right.
Bring out your dead.
The Shadow Boxer coming out. That card, whenever something heals, it does the damage like Knife Juggler.
Yep.
And it's not even if a friendly heals, whenever anything heals.
Yep. Amaz has the clean sweep here, though. We're not going to see any cool Hunter Shadow Boxing, unfortunately.
Oh, Iron Beak Owl. Not bad.
Alright. I think we're going to see a high main come down, potentially. Although I hate playing that when they have an Akanai.
Yeah.
It feels so bad.
Trade so easily. But the opportunity cost of losing you on playing high main now versus next turn or even the following turns when you're off curve.
This is the reason I'm not a big fan of the piloted Shredder trade last turn. I think he would have been better off just kill commanding the cultist, leaving the front half of Shredder alive. But he's going to play high main. Maz is in such a good spot now.
Yeah. He feels like in a very dominant position.
He's going to have to try very hard to lose this game. I don't see a way for this to not work out for the Priest at this point.
Yeah, because even if there's a second high main, It's like there's Light Bomb and there's Holy Fire, and there's just so many ways for him to do spot removal or AoE removal.
Yeah. Like this turn, you're going to Hero Power the High Main, trade in, play Blade Master and Circle of Healing. I think that's going to be the play that we see. And that's going to leave Amaz with a 4-7 and Flybird with a couple of Hyenas, which aren't necessarily going to fight that too well.
Yeah, he would have to kill command in order to deal with it.
Light Bomb the following turn would keep the Blade Master alive while killing off most of the things Hunter has in play. Alright, we are going to see that sequence of plays. Amaz is going to pass back.
You know what card it goes really well with Light Bomb? Just hit me. Mogashan Warden.
Yeah. I'm a fan of that guy in Constructed. Acolyte of Pain.
Acolyte of Pain.
Synergy.
Did you try that already?
No, not in Priest.
Dang.
It's impossible to find room in Priest. There's just too many cards that are good that you have to play. I can't find room for Holy Fire. I do play 2 Zombie Chow, which I'm surprised more Priests don't play. That really that surprises me a lot, actually.
It's really strong.
Like, I just play it on its own. You don't need Undertaker. I mean, if it's good enough for every other control deck, why not Priest, where it's at its best? Gives you a creature for Dark Cultist. I think it's better than Holy Smite.
Oh, well, Maz actually tested for the trap, and he sees it's explosive.
Yep. I wonder if he cut Wild Pyromancer. That's something I ended up doing myself, but it could easily still be in his deck. He hasn't drawn that many cards. That's a card that a lot of people felt like was kind of a core Priest card that's been there for a long time, but definitely not too bad to cut it, in my opinion.
A second explosive trap. Interesting. Well, now that there's 2 minions out, it lets the freezing trap actually be much less effective, even if it is, because there's a Light Bomb on the other side.
Yep. Flybird at this point is just going to hope to draw into
second kill command.
Yeah, second kill command, second high mage, just a bunch of high impact ways to kill Amaz out of nowhere. But this Holy Fire,
Holy Fire is so clutch.
yeah, it's going to protect Amaz for sure. Alright, it's going to come down. I think we're going to see him heal his minion.
Injured Blade Master.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Keep in mind this Thought Steal also might pick up something usue too. But
Yeah,
we'll
in order for Flybird to win this game,
Huffer.
oh man,
If it was Huffer with kill command, I mean that's 12 damage. That's insane. Still pretty nuts, all things considered, how far Amaz was.
yeah. Wow, he didn't kill command the injured Blade Master. He just refuses to kill command anything except face.
It's the Huntard way.
Well, Sylvanas comes down. Priest is kind of going through the motions at this point. Hunter's going to keep hero powering, attacking face.
No, that's the way to do it.
Feeling salty.
It's the religion of the Hunter. Lest he be swayed to attack not thy face, he be cursed and damned into condemnation.
Amen. It's just... Well, there it is. Well,
Oh man, that's so
you know, when you first brought this format to me, Froda, and you said you're trying to make it seem a little closer to ladder, I wasn't convinced at first, but oh man, now I am.
Well, that's interesting. But I think Holy Nova here is just going to lock him out. How much health would he be at? 7? It'd be at 9 health at the end of it.
Yep. Holy Nova, heal himself, attack face. Maybe Flybird's playing King Crush.
No, even then, King Crush is not enough.
No, it gets him down to 1. But then you draw kill command right after.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, Ragnaros.
Wow. Oh my god. No respect for the Crush or Ragnaros.
He wants to kill him next turn. No respect for the Ragnaros or the King Crush. Well, Amaz has got this game right here. Because he set up for a 2-turn kill. So, well played. That's going to end game 2 with a win for Amaz with his Priest deck.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the lead 2-0.
Light up the Naru for the fanciness. Wait, Amaz has the Tespit card back too? Oh, come on. I'm like the only guy that doesn't have it.
It's alright, man. It's only the best card back, bar none. You're not missing much.
Gotcha. Alright, well, that's going to be a 2-0 lead, and once again, another scenario where a person has a decisive lead. I feel like almost every series today began as a 2-0.
Yeah.
And we haven't had like a 1-1 split. Coming into the third game, what was the series matchup?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I want to say, oh no, it's Druid
I think
Warlock.
It was Warlock versus Druid. Yeah.
It's flipped this time, so it'll be Druid
That's
for
tough.
Flybird, Warlock for Amaz. But yeah, Hunter versus Priest, of course, that's a matchup that was pretty stacked from the beginning. One of Priest's best matchups. Amaz did Priesty things, had coin, killed some stuff. Hunter didn't manage to go all the way, so no Undertaker, of course, really hurt. Amaz didn't have the Shadowward Pain, so if Hunter did have Undertaker, maybe that could have flipped it. But yeah, definitely a rough matchup from the get-go. Druid versus Warlock, though, we're not sure which version of Druid Flybird has. We're not sure which version of Warlock Amaz has. My guess is Zoo for Amaz. For Flybird, it could be anything. I'm glad that we're starting to see more Ramp Druid as opposed to the traditional Spectral Knight Fast Druid. Ramp Druid's been performing pretty well. I think it's won pretty much every or almost every game that we've seen it play.
Strifeco didn't win the last game.
Oh, right.
His Ramp Druid, but it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, yesterday it did well as well. Cole played it. So, yeah.
I feel like that's been the story of some of the past couple of days, that Druid is still a class that people pick and bring to the tournament here. Another story that I like to see is whether or not Savith can take something like Fatigue Mage and win the entire thing. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But that's going to be coming up after this series. For now, we're going to go to the third game between Amaz and Flybird. Now, Amaz is a guy that we said for a while has been playing Zoo in recent times, but he also was a handlock player. He liked the handlock a lot back in the day. And I don't know, he's shown some weird decks and interesting choices. Baron Geddon and Druid. Maybe he's going to bring out something weird in Warlock too.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely up in the air. I have no idea which version of Warlock he'll bring. People always said, you know, he was known for playing handlock for a long time, but for the past like several tournaments that I've seen him play Warlock, it's always been Zoo for like it must be like at least 5 or 6 in a row now.
Sure.
So I got to lean towards that. But
well, one thing that's also cool too is that I know Amaz has also been practicing a lot, and one thing that Archon does do is hosts like nightly tournaments within their own players, and they grab a few of their friends. And they have like 8-man player tournaments. So these decks that they bring, even if Amaz isn't himself the one innovating it, I know like the team has refined it a lot as a group, and that's something that people always question. They're like, "What's the point of a Hearthstone team if it's a 1v1 game?"
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of value in playing as a team and just sharing your thoughts and just kind of building a strategy together. It definitely, when I prepare with the team, I feel like I get a lot more out of it than just like playing ladder by myself or just trying to, just go in a tournament by yourself. It's nice to have like support behind you and just a group of players to practice with. So it definitely has a lot of value there. But yeah, we'll see how these games end up going. I'm not. Is Amaz the only player from Archon in this tournament? I think he is, right?
You mean that has ever competed?
Well, in the ESL Legendary Series, we had Firebat.
No, Firebat couldn't make it twice.
Twice.
We invited him. One time he had issues with his PC, and the other one he was moving to the Archon house.
Oh, okay.
So that was it. And then we had Hosty at week 2.
Okay. Cool.
And that is all of Archon, essentially. Oh no, we had Backspace too. But that was before Backspace joined Archon.
Okay.
So we just had Backspace on before, and yeah.
Cool. Do you remember what kind of Druid list Flybird favors?
It was just like a standard mid-range Druid. It had State of Naxxramas. It had like Lotheb. It had just
Spectral Knight and stuff.
Spectral Knight.
Okay.
Pretty regular stuff. The Taiwanese player in general likes to favor Druid.
Yeah.
I remember casting a tournament where it was just Southeast Asia versus like China, and we did an interview series, and all of them around the area: Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, Taiwan. They all said they love playing Druid. It's just like the best deck for them. So
makes sense.
Seems like it's a class that they all favor. It wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of these players enter with like a Golden Druid portrait.
I think if it is like the standard Druid list, that's gonna have a very hard time against Zoo, something with Spectral Knights. But if it is more of like a handlock list from Amaz, then we're gonna have a pretty close set, I'd say, because Druid can definitely take out Handlock if you just drop BGH. Even if you don't, you just get Wild Growth. You can kind of outpace them in a lot of cases. Trade a minion into, like a Piloted Shredder into a Giant, swipe it. All of a sudden, you're drawing as many cards as them with Ancient Allure. Yeah. I guess we're getting ready for players are selecting their decks.
Yeah, I think they went to a quick bathroom break. So,
Okay.
So like we needed to help them. But I think the game's about to begin. So whether or not Amaz sweeps his opponent and goes to the semifinals, we're about to find out. As Ping Ping Ho is waiting on the other side, probably cheering on his fellow Taiwanese resident, or maybe he's cheering for Amaz. Who knows? We'll find out. As Amaz is one step away from guaranteeing an invite to the next week, as well as being able to go all the way here.
Definitely. All right. Druid versus Warlock.
We made it, Reynad. That was some good stalling. Grade A stalling. Not bad.
I got to get better at filling dead air, man. Let's talk about
You have some potential.
Burbank next time. Yeah. All right, so it is Handlock. Weren't expecting that. There it is, Antique Healbot. We'll see if this is another game where it stares back at Amaz the entire game. Look at the expressions on their faces. The
wait,
best
whoa,
poker
whoa,
faces.
whoa! Do you see what I see?
Yeah.
Do you know what card that does?
I do know what card that does.
That card says 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy for every minion on the battlefield.
That card says 100% chance to waste 3,200 dust. Is what that says. I'm excited.
That is
to watch
such
that rot
a
in his hand
sick
again.
animation. Alright, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a Mogar the Ogre out. Drew is going to be forced to force a Nature Savage Roar.
Okay.
And,
oh, it counters it.
Right, and then the Treant's going to attack another Treant.
Wow. Does it even work that way?
Oh, wait, it's the wrong enemy.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's almost as good as Lord of the Arena in that scenario. I want to know the logic behind this card. I'm excited about this.
That is just crazy.
The thing that makes me sad about when people bring cards like that into tournaments is that, like, because they're underpowered, they kind of just sit in hand in like most of the game usually. So I hope we get to see it played at some point. That would make me really happy. But oh man.
No way. Mogar the Ogre. I don't even know what stats it has because I don't have that card.
I think
it's a 7/6.
I want to say 7/6. Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
That's sad. I guess it has to be within Big Game Hunter range. Otherwise, the card would just be stupid. Just because you can't deal with it efficiently. If it had a Boulder Fist Ogre stats.
Yeah, I guess. What are you gonna do? Attack it? I mean,
I guess. It's a card that Druid probably has a hard time removing.
Does it stack? What if you have two Mogar the Ogres?
Yeah, there's a hilarious and dank video of like 8 Mogar the Ogres, and what happened was one attacked, and it just kept moving like a centimeter on the screen and then rechanging every single time. And it was basically playing like a very, very slow mobile version of Pong back in the 1980s on your cell phone.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
It was epic. You need to go watch it. Very, very good combination here with the silence.
Yeah, Innervate Wrath coming into play. You gotta take out Lotha, which I don't think he ended up doing that last turn, did he? Ended up just going face. I'm always a fan of killing Ancient Watcher, because at some point you're gonna have to do it anyway when it's given taunt.
Right.
Sometimes it'll be bigger at that point anyway.
But I suppose he would cross that bridge when he gets there, because it enables Mortal Coil or something like that.
Yeah. Chooses to keep the Wrath instead of a random card. That's an interesting choice as well. I would like to see a random card there instead. Alright. Mountain Giant's a great draw.
It's a great draw, and it's a test for Big Game Hunter before Mogar the Ogre comes out.
That's what Mountain Giant's there for, man. Paving the way for the people's champion.
Can you get away with... Oh, wait, Sylvanas. Oh,
you know, Mogar kind of combos with Ancient Watcher, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. It's like, because it kind of gives him taunt.
Yeah, some of the time.
Forsen just finished an arena run, and he did not get more than 2 wins.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Oh.
It's already that time in the stream, I guess.
Yeah. It's only a Saturday, Forsen. Keep it together.
Well.
There's a second keeper for this, but of course... Wait, how much damage does Flybird have? 5, 9, 11. Okay, not enough. Second keeper is pretty important, though, to silence that Sylvanas.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't have a counter to Mogre.
He doesn't have to do this. I mean, he could have Keeper into Watcher, Lotheb into Sylvanas, Wrath, but this is better because you're left with something on the table. So I'm definitely a fan of this play. I think we are going to see that Asia Watcher get killed off this time.
Time waits for no one.
Does he attack or does he hold?
Well,
Does he suspect the Mogre?
it's all about the Mortal
Man.
Coil, right? I would just let it get Mortal Coiled if he has it. No.
Oh. Oh, wait, he already had an owl. Never mind. I thought that was his first owl. Interesting stuff. There's a lot of options at his disposal right now. So, what's the bad thing? If he plays Mogre the Ogre, it could just die.
To BGH. But honestly, looking at his hand, that's the best play.
Well, we also know that if he plays Mogre the Ogre, he's just gonna get Wrath swiped.
Yeah. But that's not that bad for him. I mean, any minion he plays is
Right.
gonna have
Well,
that issue.
I mean, not if he plays Lotheb.
Yeah, that's true.
But Lotheb's pretty weak considering his mana curve and usage.
So many possibilities.
Mogre the Ogre!
Oh, baby.
No reaction from Flybird.
Man, you talked over the intro sound. I'm never going to learn what it says now, ever again.
No, he'll get played again, trust me. So you have to spend your entire turn removing Mogre the Ogre, and then he can play a giant and taunt. Not to mention that this is also a test for Big Game Hunter.
Yes, it is. That's
Right? Would you
definitely-
not want to BGH that?
It's definitely a use it has. Yeah, I'll BGH a 6 mana card for sure.
Damn. That animation is so cool.
Flybird's probably going to rope this turn. I'm sure he's Googling the...
Lol! Mogre didn't do anything.
Alright, well, yeah, that was almost
Sick.
as good as Boulder Fist Ogre.
No, not even close.
Alright, Spectral Knight comes down. Is Keeper of the Grove going to get in there?
Quite possibly.
He is. And he's not. He is. Alright.
Well, one thing did happen that turn. He did rope.
Did rope. I think
Alright,
we're definitely going to see 5-drop Sun Fury. The only question...
Where does he taunt up?
Yeah, is it Lotheb or is it Mountain Giant? That's the question. I guess
That's a good
Mountain Giant,
question.
right? He
Lotheb
did-
is good because of next turn. Oh, alright.
Druid is only going to have 8 mana next turn. Amaz recognizes that. Very unlikely to get Innervate, Force of Nature, Savage Roar, so he's going to opt for this play instead. I'd like a swipe Piloted Shredder here. That's fine. Dr. Broom isn't bad either. You can swipe the 8-8 and trade, or you can just swipe the 4-3 and go face. I think you do attack face at this point. Molten Giant is already a very real threat.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Although, actually, one thing that you had to be mindful of too is that there was like an opportunity if your opponent had Druid the Claw and Savage Roar, you could have died.
Definitely a 2-card combo that people don't always consider, but very powerful on turn 8. Well,
What's it gonna be? Has to be something.
I mean, Dr. Boom isn't that bad of a play. I think it's fine. A little weak to Shadow Flame, but
Nah, not to mention your opponent could have the BGH as well.
he's going to go for the Shredder Swipe. Is he going to attack?
I think so.
I like it.
He's so close. 13.
Alright, well, no Molten Giant, luckily for Flybird. But Amaz does have a taunt.
Yeah, and he's also got Lotheb too. So I can buy him some really valuable time. Especially considering that his opponent's limited on resources, and it's like it shows that he didn't have a way to deal with the Mountain Giant. TKO bot, also viable for sure.
Yeah, both good plays. Is he going to just Sun Fury the 3-3? No, both. I guess he needs to not die to combo.
Right. Oh. Crazy stuff, man.
Check first, man.
Check first. Patient assassin?
They might lose a life if it's mana raid. Alright.
Oh. The Trog. It's interesting. Well, Hellfire, I believe.
I'd like an attack here.
Huh?
He's not going to attack. Okay. I guess that's fine. Yeah, Hellfire is so clean here. You're absolutely right about that. Hellfire Lotheb seems like the play. Not in danger of dying to combo because of the Lotheb's battle cry.
Yeah, next turn you have a defender play, so you could be a little bit safer from combo again.
I wonder.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a cleaner play than that. Maybe let Dr. Boom live, but I don't think that's going to work out too well.
I don't think it's worth it just for a few more points of damage, unless you want to use defender, but that still doesn't feel strong. So,
I wonder.
Amaz will suicide. 2 of his minions in. Buff up the Trog. And slam down Lotheb. Oh!
Well,
Wow. That's intense.
that is some Dr. Boom RNG. All right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I would hero power. I'm greedy. What if he Dr. Boom Sun Furies? Come on, man.
Or just Dr. Booms.
Yeah, just Dr. Booms. Well, he wouldn't play anything without a taunt.
Sure.
He's thinking about it.
Well, I mean,
If he has no taunt, you could get lethal by going phase, right? You draw
Yeah.
swipe.
yeah, you're right.
No faith, man.
No faith in the top decks.
No faith. Alright, 3-3's down. Dark
So, Ragnaros or Dr. Boom? I guess Dr. Boom, because you can still come back from Big Game Hunter a little bit easier. But Ragnaros is more mana.
Yeah.
Not sure if the 1 mana does make a difference, though, with 2 to 3 for handlock.
Possibilities.
No chance he'd tap. Or defender. I guess probably not defender here.
Yeah.
Looks
Oh,
like
I guess
he's gonna-
defender is a possible play, too.
He's really scared of that combo.
Will he even survive if the opponent has combo? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he'll barely survive. Ancient of Lore is good.
Yeah, that's a good draw for Druid here.
Really good draw, considering he also has excess mana.
I would like to see the excess mana getting played first, but not a huge deal, I guess.
Right.
Is he saving it for Pyromancer? I don't understand.
Gadget Sand.
Okay.
He also ends. Alright. Shadow Flame.
Oh man, that's a draw. Do you play it? I like a rag here, I think.
Yeah. Hold on. 6. 11. No way to try and flip the table to win here.
So many possibilities.
Do you maybe run the 2-3 and the 3-2 into the lore?
I think it doesn't save you from combo, though.
I don't think anything saves you from combo.
Unless you tap into... No, I don't even think tapping gets you to safer to anything.
That's not what he wanted
That's
to
a
see.
troll. Okay, but for in Amaz's mind, he thinks he might be dead. But in Flybird's hand right now, we see that he can't actually kill him.
I mean, Amaz recognizes that he can't beat the combo. Wow, I can't believe he's going for the Shadow Flame. He's going to Shadow Flame both of them to keep
Oh.
the Lotheb alive.
Right, so that way he can Ragnaros finish next turn. That's pretty wild.
Is that... like, it's not that...
I don't know if he needed to attack.
It doesn't change anything. Like, you
Right.
could have just Shadow Flamed the big guy, and you still died all the same stuff. You would have 2 minions instead, and like an extra Shadow Flame. But your creature would be smaller.
Guess you wouldn't die to like Wrath and Druid of the Claw.
Yeah. Alright.
It's a good draw, I guess.
Well, see, if he had a Shadow Flame here, it would have been. But he decided to use 2 of them instead. He's probably going to have to tap, right? I mean, you just die otherwise?
Right, and then he would need to get
So
the
many
ancient heal bot or something.
possibilities.
Pretty amazing that Flybird hasn't picked up any combo pieces.
Yeah. Maybe just a taunt giver would be good enough. I mean, Flybird might not even play combo. Who knows?
If he taps and he doesn't have heal, he's within range of Keeper of the Grove. It just keeps extending the possibilities that Flybird draws into a game-ending card.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that tapping might be your best option, though. Okay. You attack the 3/5, right? So this needs to hit the 4/6, or else it's game over.
It's game over either way, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Actually,
Now it is, for sure,
Yeah.
the Savage Roar. So that's going to wrap up game 3, and this pressure that's been impending has been a long time coming.
alright. So it was Fast Druid versus Handlock. Like we mentioned beforehand, it is a pretty good game, kind of back and forth. Well, not a clean 3-0 sweep for Amaz. Definitely, Flybird still has a shot. He's behind 1-2 right now. Now it's the blind pick stage, so players are going to be picking any deck from the lineup that they want, whether they've lost with it, whether they've won with it, doesn't matter. They're going to look at their opponent's lineup, at their own lineup, and just kind of go with the deck that they think gives them the best chance to win another game. Looking at the decks, do you think Amaz will just fall back to Priest because he's so comfortable with it? Is Flybird going to go with Handlock or Druid? I don't know.
I feel like he might go to... He was playing Handlock?
Was he? I think so.
I think so,
Yeah.
against the Druid,
The
right?
Druid,
at the very
yeah.
beginning. I think Flybird might stick with Druid.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a class he's very comfortable with, and it's also decent against Priest, interestingly enough. And I think Amaz might go with Druid as well. I think his Druid's also really consistent, so I'm sensing a Druid mirror.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Druid Mirror.
I think it's going to be okay against everything.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maz Druid deck's pretty interesting. I'd like to see that some more. Baron Geddon, I'm sure, is pretty solid in the mirror. Just got a big guy.
It kills the shades.
It does kill the shades.
It does.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how have you been enjoying Burbank? Throw it in.
I've been enjoying it a lot, man. Burbank's, like, California is really nice weather, generally speaking, for this time of year. For people who don't know, it's like 75 to 80 degrees.
He says as it's raining outside.
Yeah, but today is like
Yeah,
an
exception.
exception. But also, California could use some rain.
Yeah.
Realistically,
what I
a
hear.
drought and all this stuff.
It was
California's been like a 3-year drought.
Yeah, it was raining so much around the holidays. I couldn't go outside for like a week. Just like coming down sideways.
Yeah. But I was told that even though the Pineapple Express, which is like the weather storm that came over the holidays, even if we had like 8 of those, we still wouldn't be able to be like where we would need to be. For,
Really?
For
Wow.
water levels.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You learn so much, don't you, Raynad?
Well, that's not the kind of Pineapple Express I thought you were. I can't believe they called the hurricane that. Oh.
What
This is like the
kind
most educational part of my day. Like the movie, man, with I already forgot his name. The guy in the interview. Franco, James Franco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the movie with James Franco is called Pineapple
Oh,
Express.
I never saw that.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, you should watch that movie. You'd love it. It's good.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Alright, so we're going to see Warlock versus Druid
Okay.
again for the 3rd time in this series. Flybird with Handlock, Amaz with Druid. Last time, Amaz won this match, but it was a close one.
Yeah, it turns out I think we're having some webcam issues, so it was frozen. And thankfully we caught them in poses that are okay, you know. It's not like they're closing their eyes or picking their nose or something.
Yeah.
That's always one of my fears. So people were like, hey, you want a webcam in? I'm like, no, man.
Those poker faces.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, let's do it one more time, man. I think you're starting to feel what it's like to be a commentator in Legendary
Absolutely
Series.
terrible. It is so exhausting.
Well, you know, this is actually about the halfway point. We have 3 more series after
Yeah, I
this.
know.
But it does ramp up in intensity, so the games do become more fun.
That's good.
All right,
All right.
Amaz has the Ramp Druid, and he has Black Knight, which is
It's an
that's a
important
pretty valuable
card.
card. Do you keep that?
I don't think so. It's not gonna come into play until like turn 8 or so. As important as it is, I'd rather put it back and look for a wild growth.
Okay.
Or a BGH. Or a keeper of the grove, just some, or an innervate, just anything to sort of make you not dead on turn 4. That's the important thing. As Flybird here, I would keep the giant, put back the other 3. He keeps Chow to fill out the curve, but I don't like this. I'd rather have a random card, even if I can't play it right away.
I suppose it's fine considering that
Yep.
he has the coin, so dropping Zombie Chow is fine.
Yeah, the right play here is coin life tap, but he won't do that. They never do that. Makes me so sad, man. Coin life tap is just the best feeling. Well, maybe in this case it's better not to. Let me think about this. If you Chow and then... No, you know what? This is actually better. I'm so not used to playing with Zombie Chow in the deck, but I like this a lot. It's interesting, because now you just might as well just save coin, tap twice in a row. Otherwise you go coin tap, tap, tap Chow. Huh.
Amaz just hero powered the Zombie Chow. Looks like he's gonna innervate the Drake now.
Yeah. No, I take it back. I think coin life tap was better. It doesn't seem like a big decision, but
Think about it. You know, sleep on it.
eh.
I'll ask you tomorrow if you think coin life tap or Zombie Chow is alright. No
Alright.
rush, man. No rush.
Well, Dark Bomb Coil, I guess, is the play here. You could just tap as well. I mean, there's lots of options. Coin Twilight Drake is a play I see a lot. I'm not a fan of it, but I guess you would be tapping the turn after with Dark Bomb.
Yeah, I generally think the Dark Bomb Mortal Coil is actually pretty strong. You still have the opportunity to drop the Mountain Giant on turn 4. So it seems to make sense in terms of the mana curve and the card cost and everything like that.
So many possibilities.
Flybird's taking his time though. Does end up life tapping. And doesn't have to play a card. Normally if you life tap on turn 3 as a player, handlock player holding the coin, you have to discard something, but he's conveniently holding just enough cards.
Pass me that Arc Light Spanner.
It's just like better than Grove Tender.
That is. I mean, honestly, if you look at it like Keeper of the Grove, it's kind of similar, right? Instead of drawing a 0 mana 2 damage card or a 0 mana silence, you
Draw a card.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it.
Alright. I guess he's leaning towards Mountain Giant. I'd like to see a Drake here, I think.
It's just more likely that they have a keeper though than a big game hunter, isn't it?
That's true. It definitely is. I was just thinking mana efficiency, but yeah, if you're going to coin Dark Bomb, this is fine as well.
I've got the beast in my
Not even a need to think about what needs to happen afterwards.
No.
Quickest turn 3, or turn 5 rather, excuse me.
I like it. Some of these guys have been roping too much on those plays, trying to bluff other options. If you have a giant, you just BGH it for sure. Alright, so is it Lotheb? Is it Twilight Drake? What's the play? I would Lotheb, just because of mana efficiency. It does die to hero power and big game hunter.
Well, Lotheb's also a really strong tool to keep late in the game, but I also think it's also appropriate here. Just because of a druid and the nature of how it has the combo.
Next turn he's got a Drake, Ancient Watcher, maybe a life tap Drake.
Well, he's got removal for it. Gnomish Inventor can also fish something else too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Gnomish Inventor hero power turn.
The Antique Heal Bot. That's right.
Inventors are just putting in work.
You
I
know
like
who's
this.
not putting in the work?
Oh, who?
Baron Geddon.
Baron Geddon. Oh, not yet, man. Have we seen Ancient Allure out of this deck yet?
I don't know. We haven't. I don't think we have. He has
He's playing
two.
Gnome.
Oh, that makes so much more sense now. If he because I was like, he has Azure Drake and the Gnomish Inventors, but he gets the card draw through the Ancient of Lures. And he has an Antique Heal Bot for the heal.
Yeah.
So. Wait,
Twice as many cards to...
to do what one card does?
Yeah. Alright, Dr. Boom comes down. He's going to be getting in for 4 here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those Gnomish Inventors will go down pretty easily to a Shadow Flame. no matter how he cuts it. But there is no Shadow Flame, at least right now. There's an easy way for Flybird to dig.
Let's start off with a coil. Try to find it off that. If that fails, we're going to see a life tap.
Second Molten. What if that hits the face for 4? Oh, yikes. Actually, it's pretty unfortunate too, because even if he drew Shadow Flame, something that he could have done in the past was attack Dr. Boom and Shadow Flame, but now he can't.
Yeah, well, he can, but he has to lose the Watcher now.
Right.
He could silence his own Watcher and run both of them into Boom. He might just play
the other Drake.
He might just play a Sludge Belcher here.
Oh, that's true. Are you worried about dying? Possibly.
Flybird definitely on the back foot here. Dr. Boom doing what Dr. Boom does.
Sludge Belcher is like the
impossible to
only
interact
taunt
with.
he has, right?
It might. Well, right now, yeah.
And he hasn't used a Keep or the Grove.
Maybe you silence your Ancient Watcher and you just kill the Gnomish guys instead of the Boom. That's probably better, I
It's a
think.
lot of damage to let slip through the cracks. 8.
This mind control tech, though.
It's my control tech.
Owl incoming.
Is there a better play than my? Oh, mind control tech into swipe. If you take the 4/7. Oh my God.
I've played a good amount of mind control tech lately, and that's how it's usually gone. Feel for him. That's too bad.
Yeah, pretty anticlimactic.
Well, he does have a still pretty good clear here, I think. Assuming
Right.
that the boom bot goes where he wants it to go. Is there a way you can attack? Like, I think you go Dr. Boom into the 4/7 no matter what.
Right.
Question is after that.
You can swipe the Drake and then attack into the Ancient Watcher.
And then you have a 50-50.
Right.
That's not bad.
What to do?
Is there an alternative though? Because the Boombot might even do 4 damage to the face, and then he has much cheaper Molten Giants. So maybe you attack with the Boombot now.
I think you Boombot face and then just like heal your Dr. Boom.
Oh yeah, that also is a possibility too.
Tough play either way.
Actually, you can do both. You can Boombot and then attack with the hero power, and then evaluate.
He's going to go with the swipe play, go for the 50-50. It hits. Alright.
For exacties too.
Yep. Makes up for the mind control tech a bit.
So many 8/8s. Lots of stats in Flybird's hand.
Well, not too many ways to catch up against this board, though. He'd really love to life tap into a Hellfire right now. Wouldn't that be insane?
Well, even if he life taps, he still has the opportunity to play defensive, but I don't really feel that comfortable with just Ragnaros here. Even if it hits, I don't know, even if it hits something like Dr. Boom, you're still in a tough spot.
Yeah, life tap into Hellfire is the correct play here.
Need to take the chance, huh? Well, he seems like he's just gonna die. And I think that's game, because
Yes, it
Cenarius is enough. So Amaz is gonna win 3-1, and Ragnaros serves one master, and his name is not Flybird.
Nope. Oh, well played by Amaz. Pretty cool Druid deck. I like seeing that win.
Yeah. Once again, MVP of that match, Baron Get.
Baron getting right there for moral support. Hey, 100% win rate in games it's been drawn.
Yeah. Well, there you
The
go.
numbers don't lie, Jen.
Well, I guess I gotta start putting Paladin, or sorry, Baron Get in my Paladin for sure. Well, that means we have 2 players who go through for the invites. We have 2 players from the Open. We have a good mixture of stuff. Amaz is going to advance to play Ping Ping Ho. But before we do that, we also have another semifinals at the very beginning of the day. Savitz defeated Cole. So now Savitz takes on Zalay, and Ping Ping Ho takes on Amaz. That's going to be coming up for you on stream.
Yeah. Should be some great games. See you guys in a bit.
Yes,
And,
but before
we go, I'd like to thank our sponsors, of course, for making all this happen. You know, it's Newegg, of course. I don't actually have the whole
The link is
thing
down there.
memorized. The link is down there. You guys should go check that out.
Yep.
Newegg has been with us since the beginning of Season 1. They're making all this happen, and you got nothing better to do for the next few minutes. Seriously, go check it out, because that's the reason that Hearthstone tournaments like this can happen. And, yeah, all they want you to do, go look at their stuff. Maybe there's something you like. Great prices on everything. First PC I ever built, actually. I ordered all custom parts off Newegg, so great stuff. All got there on time.
Nice.
Yeah, and big thank you to Plantronics for being our new sponsor. They're giving away a couple of rig headsets and stuff like that. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, they're giving away
entirely
2 rig headsets.
Rig headsets on the
and,
giveaway specifically.
50 Hearthstone packs.
50 Hearthstone packs, classic, of course. We've been there. I bought those accidentally before too. We won't hold that against them, but thanks for helping us out. Go check out that link. And yeah, that's all below on the Twitch page. We'll see you guys after the break.
8 out of 10.